sixth day of the month of Elul. It is Maseches Shabbos, and we are learning Daf Chav Beis Amud Aleph in Maseches Pesachim, sharing the link with the Chevra. For those that didn't make it to the shir this afternoon, sending it out now. And we are good to go. We left off at the bottom of Daf Chav Aleph Amud Beis, where the Gemara was dealing with a Maseches between Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Abahu. Maseches Amoraim, whether or not all Isurei Achila that exist in the Torah are also Isurei Hana, and the Gemara is dealing with the opinion of Rabbi Abahu. Rabbi Abahu had told us that all Isurei Achila are also Isurei Hana. And then the Gemara challenged Rabbi Abahu from the Brisa Maseches between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda with regards to the permissibility of selling or giving away. Nevela, where the pasuk said, the pasuk had told us that you can sell it and or give it away to a ger and or to a nachri, and that was Maseches between Meir and the Chachamim. And the Gemara had concluded at the bottom of Daf Chav Aleph Amud Beis that according to the way that Rabbi Abahu is learning the entirety of the sugya, so how called isurim shevatari minali de asurim mehana? So how does Rabbi Yehuda know that all the isurim in the Torah also asbahana, all the isurei achila asbahana? Says the Gemara nafkalei mila kelev tashlich, that he learns that from the pasuk that says you should throw it away to a kelev, and that is talking about a treifa. The pasuk about a treifa says that you should give that away to a kelev. If you shecht an animal and it turns out that it is not going to be kosher, so the novella you're going to sell to the nachri, you're going to give it to the nachri. But when it comes to treifa, an animal that was shechted and then you find out that it was not kosher, so at that point in time, the kelev tashlich. Says the Gemara, what's the limud at the top of Chav Beis Amud Aleph? That one, meaning the treifa, you're going to throw away to the dog. But you cannot throw to the dog any other isurim in the Torah. Why? Because that would be getting hana from it. You are feeding your dog. You're not allowed to feed your dog with all the other isurim in the Torah. That is Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Very Meir, and according to the way that Rabbi Meir learns, that one you can throw to the dog. But you are not allowed to throw to a dog chulin, non-kachim, non-consecrated animals that were brought into the Beis HaMikdash and shechted in the courtyard of the Beis HaMikdash. Why would a person do this? By mistake. So the pasuk you can throw away that to the dog means that that one you are allowed to give to your kelev, but you're not allowed to do that for something else, at least for something else. Rabbi says there's only one thing that the Torah is referring to. Yeah, the limit for osa, it, but nothing else. Meaning, what's the nothing else? Means one other thing that you're not allowed to do this to, and that is chulin, that is shechted in the azar. V'idach, and according to Rabbi Yehuda, chulin sheneshchut ba'azara lav deraisei. The din of chulin, not that is shechted in the azara, not being able to be given to a kelev, that the isur hanav, that's not a din deraisa. Don't make the mistake in reading lav deraisa, meaning it's an isur deraisa, meaning it's lav a deraisa. It's not a deraisa. That's not a din deraisa. Rashi and Tosfos discuss what exactly is the isur according to Rabbi Yehuda. Is the isur on a level of deraisa to shecht in the azara? That's how Rashi's opinion is. But there is no isur of, if you accidentally shechted in the azara, of using it outside the azara. According to Tosfos, there is not even an isur of shechting in the azara. According to both Rashi and Tosfos, what exactly is Rabbi Yehuda's mahalach here is that it's not a din deraisa, it's a din derabanan, because the Rabbanan were concerned that if you would shecht something accidentally in the azara, and then you'd be, oh, that's not a carbon, we can't put that on the mizbech, and then you would take that outside to use, people would think that it was a carbon that was pasul, that was being able to be used, sold, eaten outside of the azara. Matav Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha, so Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha attacks the opinion of Rabbi Abahu Bichlal. Rabbi Abahu says that all isurei achila are isurei hana. He says, Hari Gid Hanashe the Rahmana Amar, with regards to Gid Hanashe, the sciatic nerve, that has an isur deraisa to eat the Gid Hanashe. The Rahmana Amar, the Pasuk tells us, the Torah tells us, Al Kein La Yochel V'nei Shal Gid Hanashe. The Therefore, the Jewish people should not eat the Gid Hanasha. The pasuk in Sefer Bereshis, after Yaakov Avinu has to fight with the angel, the pasuk says, "Al ken." Therefore, lo yochel b'nei Yisrael is Gid Hanasha. The Jewish people are never going to eat the Gid Hanasha. That's an isur of achila. Lo yochlu, and lo yochlu is included in the list of prohibitions of achila that, according to Rabbi Abau, also include the isur hana. So that's the din by Gid Hanasha. Utnan, and we have a brisa shalech adam yerach lenachri, that a person is allowed to send a yerach, the hindquarters of an animal, to an achri. V'gid hanasha b'zaycha, and the gid hanasha is inside of it, and you can send it away. You can send that to an achri. You can. We do this in the kashrus industry, bisman hazeh, all the time. All the hindquarters of the animals they sell to the local abattoir. They don't do nikra gid. It is time consuming. It's costly, and people aren't so interested in it. The gid hanasha, the gid hanasha inside it, you sell that to the nachri. Why? Why is it permissible? Because its place is nikar. Meaning, what the price is concerned with here is that if you would sell something that is osur to a non-Jew, he might sell it to a Jew. But there's no concern here because the gid hanasha being inside of the animal, any Jew that buys it is going to know that this was that it's going to say, I got it from Yankel Beryl, he's from Jew. He's going to say, but there's the gid hanasha still inside of it, so I'm not allowed to eat that. I'm not allowed to eat the gid hanasha. I would have to do nikra gid. I would have to remove the gid in order to be able to eat it. What is very clear from this brisa, and this is Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka's concern against Rabbi Abau, is that it seems obvious that you are allowed to sell something that has gid hanasha inside of it. Gid hanasha is an isur achila. How could you sell that to an achri? You are going to get benefit from it. That is called hana. That would be an isur hana, and it's very clear that the Mishnah is saying that it is permissible. It says the Gemara, no, because Rabbi Abau holds kshehutra nevela, when the Torah tells us that you are allowed to sell nevela, an animal that died through some other means other than shechita. You can sell that, or you can give that away to the nachri, and or to the ger toshav. Says Rabbi Abau, kshehutra nevela, when the nevela was mutter in hana, it includes it, v'chelba, and its fats, forbidden fats, v'gida, and its gid, the gid hanasha. So that's hutra. All of that was mutter at the same time. Says the Gemara, okay, good. That makes sense according to the tzad, according to the opinion that says in Maseches Chulin, the Amar yesh begidin b'nais tam, that gidin have flavor, meaning that the gid hanasha is also meat. It's meat, and the Torah is assuring this piece of meat even within an animal that's kosher. Meaning, you shechted the animal. There's chelev, which is asur, and there's a gid, which is asur, and you cannot eat those things. But the one that says, there's an opinion that says ein begidin b'nais tam, that the gid hanasha does not have any flavor, meaning it's not meat, it's not fleishiks. It's a separate isur that has nothing to do with meat. It is fundamentally the same as the hooves of the animal, the same as the bones of the animal. They're not fleishik. They don't have any flavor. They don't impart any flavor. The gid, therefore, is not asur because it's a food. It's asur because the Torah told you, don't eat this thing. That is not even a food. And that's the opinion. What are you going to say about that, about this opinion? Meaning, if you hold that there is no flavor that exists within the gid hanasha, so then if you sell that to an achri, if you sell the nevela to an achri, you are selling something that has, you're getting hana from something that cannot be included within the isur of nevela because it's not included in meat. It is a separate isur. Says the Gemara, how does Rabbi Abau deal with this? Man shamislei, whose opinion is it? The Amar that says in beginning time that the gid hanasha doesn't have any flavor. That's the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. The Tanya ha'oichel migid hanasha, somebody that eats on the gid hanasha shel behema tamea, of an animal which is tamea, meaning a non-kosher animal. Rabbi Yehuda mechayev. Rabbi Yehuda is mechayev you. How many shtaim? You're going to be mechayev two. Meaning, if you ate the gid hanasha of a tamei animal, you are chayev two isurim. One is the isur of gid hanasha, and the other is the isur of basar tamei, of behema tamea. Rabbi Shimon Pater, Rabbi Shimon says no. There is no isur whatsoever. Why? If you ate the gid hanasha of a non-kosher, of a camel, right? So if you ate that gid hanasha, Rabbi Shimon says there's no isur whatsoever, because the isur is not an isur of eating meat. It's not meat. It doesn't have any flavor, and it's only going to exist in a kosher animal. There's no gid hanasha. There's no isur of gid hanasha in something else. It's the same as eating any other non-food. It's not a food thing. It's only an isur within the within a kosher animal. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Shimon, hachinami the asur b'hana, and according to Rabbi Shimon, that would still be true that it's asur b'hana, we would agree. That would still be asbana. The Tanya, that the Brisa says, Gid Hanasha Mutbana, Gid Hanasha is Mutbana, that is Divrei Rabbi Huda, that's the opinion of Rabbi Huda. Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon says this also. And the only reason, says Rabbi Abba, that Rabbi Huda is going to be matter is because it's included in the permissibility that we have already discussed with regards to a nevela. Rabbi Shimon, who doesn't hold this whole discussion, is going to say that's an Isser Hana anyway. It's still an Isser Hana, like all other Isurim in the Torah, that it's an Isser Achila. The Gemara then challenges this further. Hold up a second. Bahari Dam. What about blood? Bahari Dam, according to the Torah tells us that there's an issue of eating dam. The Rachmana Amar, the Torah tells us, Kol nefesh mikem lo yisachal dam, that no person is allowed to eat blood. Utnan, and we taught in the Mishnah, elu ve'elu misarvim ba'ama, that the blood from the chatas inside and the chatas outside, meaning all the chatas that are brought inside the Beis Hamikdash, misarvim, they are mixed together, ba'ama, and they are poured into the pipes that are underneath the mizbech, v'yotzen l'nachal Kidron, and then they flow out into the Nachal Kidron, into the Kidron Valley, and they are sold to gardeners to be used as fertilizer. And that money has an isur me'ila, meaning if you use that for any other purpose, if you use that money, if you use that stuff without paying for it, so there would be an isur me'ila, which seems very clear that it is permissible to get hana from blood. Meaning the problem is a problem of me'ila, of inappropriately taking from the karbanos, from property of the Beis Hamikdash. But dam has an isur achila. How can you get any hana from it? How can you sell blood? How can you sell blood to be used as fertilizer? All the karbanos, the Beis Hamikdash is making money off of this. This is called me'ila. Says that it's called me'ila, but you are getting hana. Says the Gemara Shani dam. No, blood is different. Why? The itkish l'mayim, because it's compared to water in the pasuk. Dichsiv, the pasuk tells us lo yisachlenu, that you are not allowed to eat blood. Ala aretz tishvachenu kamayim. You have to pour it onto the ground like water. My mayim mutarim, just like water has no isurim in it. Av dam mutar, so too blood is also mutar bahana, meaning yes, there's an isur achila, but it has heter hana because it's compared to water. Says the Gemara. Hold up a second. Ve'ima kamaim hamisnachsim al gam mizbech. Maybe it's compared. The blood is coming from the mizbech. Maybe the water should be coming from the mizbech as well. That's the mayim that's poured in the mizbech during the Chag HaSukkos. That would certainly be an isur hana. Says Rabbi Abba. No. You can't say that. Kamaim, kamaim doesn't mean with specific water that's spilled on the mizbech once a year. No, kamaim means rov mayim. Mayim in general, more water in general. You're allowed to use as you wish. Says the Gemara, midi rov mayim. Yeah, but the pasuk doesn't say it doesn't say al aretz tishbechenu kerov mayim. Doesn't say spell it out like the majority of water. Maybe it means specific water. You can't learn from that comparison. Ela Amar Rav Ashi, says Rav Ashi, nah, kamaim hanishbachim. It's like water that is spilt out. V'loy kamaim hanisachin, but not like water that is used as a libation. Meaning water that is used to be poured on the mizbech. That's tishbachenu kamaim, because that is poured water, that is not libated water. Challenges the Gemara. Maybe it should be like water that is poured out in front of Avodah Zarah. Water is also poured out for Avodah Zarah, and the Avodah Zarah water that is for sure going to be also with an isana. Says the Gemara, no, hasanami nisuch ikribe. There it's not called pouring. There it's also called nisuch. It's also called nisuch hayayin. Nisuch hayayin, nisuch hamayim. It's called nisuch. Dichsiv, the pasuk says, pasuk Chumash, Dichsiv yishtu yain nisicham, that you will drink the wine of their nisicha. Meaning, even if something is poured out for Avodah Zarah, that's not called shvicha, that's called nisicha. It's an isur, but it still is called nisicha. It is not called shvicha. And Adkan, the Gemara has been challenging the opinion of Rabbi Abahu from all of the Tanaim and all of the Brises and Mishnahs that we have discussed. The Gemara on Chav Beis V'Beis is going to challenge Chizkiah, who tells us that all Isurim in the Torah do not have all Isur Achila, do not have an Isur Hana. And of course, we know we pass on Zachagol. We're going to pass on like Chizkiah. We do not hold that every Isur Achila also has an Isur Hana. But Pesachim to be continued tomorrow at Gudavach, and everybody should have a week filled with Mazel, Simcha, Bracha, and Hatzlacha for the Jewish people. And we'll see you all tomorrow.